You know that feeling when you see someone you love, laugh with someone new, and you pretend it doesn't hurt? That slow, quiet ache behind your ribs that says, "You used to smile like that with me." I had that once. More than once. It was a normal afternoon. I was scrolling, not even thinking, and then there they were, in a photo I wasn't supposed to see, with people I didn't know, with joy I didn't recognize. And it felt like someone had taken my name out of a story that used to belong to me. I didn't cry, not right away. I just stared at the photo, at their face, at the way they leaned in like they belonged to that moment now, like they had never belonged to mine. And my heart didn't break in a loud way. It cracked, slowly, quietly, like when ice splits down the middle of a frozen lake. No warning, just space. I sat there for a while, phone in hand, mouth slightly open, like I forgot how to breathe. And I remember thinking, so that's it then? They moved on. Not just physically, not just emotionally, but publicly. And the worst part? No one noticed I was still grieving, because I wasn't in their life anymore. So my pain didn't have a place either. It was like mourning a person who was still alive, still laughing, still posting, still becoming someone new, without even glancing back. And all I could think was I really that forgettable, that replaceable, that easy to erase? After that moment, I stopped showing up in small ways. Didn't comment, didn't reach out, didn't try to remind them I still existed. Because deep down, I didn't want to be someone they remembered out of guilt. I wanted to be someone they missed without being told to. But they never looked back. Not even once. And I wish I could say that I got over it quickly, that I let it go, that I chose peace and moved on too. But the truth? I stayed stuck in a kind of quiet waiting, not hoping they'd come back, but wondering if they'd ever realize what they walked away from. I replayed old conversations in my head, reread messages I should have deleted, listened to songs I once played for them, alone in my room with the lights off like I was trying to summon a ghost. And there's this moment no one talks about, the moment you realize they're not coming back. Not because they can't, but because they don't want to. That realization doesn't hit all at once. It seeps in slowly, like a soft, cold truth that fills every space of your body until even your bones feel heavy. I started pretending I didn't care, told people I was healing, laughed when their name came up like it didn't sting. But it did. It always did. Because when someone replaces you without warning, it's not just about them moving on. It's about you wondering if you were ever real to them in the first place. And that's the pain no one sees. The quiet wondering, the invisible grief, the way your chest tightens at the thought of being so forgettable. I started avoiding certain places, certain songs, certain people, even certain colors, just because they reminded me of a sweater they used to wear. It sounds silly, I know. But when someone leaves and makes no space for your goodbye, everything becomes a reminder, even silence. I remember one morning I was making coffee. Same mug, same chair, same light coming through the blinds. But it felt different. Not because the day was different, but because I was. Something inside me had shifted. Not healed, just shifted. I stopped wondering where they were and started asking, why did I think they were the only ones who could love me like that? And that question hurt. Because it made me realize I had given them so much power over how I saw myself. Their presence made me feel wanted. Their attention made me feel worthy. Their absence made me feel replaceable. But the truth? I was already here, already enough, already whole, before they ever arrived. And I forgot that. I forgot that no one completes you. They just mirror what you forget to see in yourself. But when they left, the mirror shattered, and I was too scared to pick up the pieces alone. So I waited, quietly, for someone else to come hold them with me. But no one did. And that's when I realized maybe this was never about being forgotten. Maybe it was about finally remembering myself, even in the silence, even in the absence, even without being seen. Because sometimes, being replaced just reveals who never really saw you to begin with. There was one night I couldn't sleep, not because I was sad, but because I was numb. I stared at the ceiling for hours, waiting to feel anything. Anger, grief, even bitterness. But nothing came. Just this heavy quiet. Like my body remembered pain, but forgot how to cry. And in that stillness, I started whispering their name. Just once, just soft, not to call them back, but to let it leave my lips one final time. And after I said it, I closed my eyes, and I didn't see their face. I saw mine, not the one that smiled for them, not the one that begged for their attention, but the one that used to glow before all of this. And I realized something I hadn't let myself admit. It wasn't just that they left, it's that I stayed behind with the version of me who kept trying to prove I was worth remembering. That part of me, the one who over-explained, over-gave, over-loved, she was still sitting by the door, hoping someone would come back and say, "I made a mistake. You mattered more than I realized." But no one came. So I stood up slowly, and I told her gently, "We don't wait anymore. Not out of spite, not out of ego, but because we are no longer a version of ourselves that believes we're easy to forget." And it didn't fix everything. Didn't make me feel powerful or healed, but it felt like a beginning, a soft one, a quiet one, but still a beginning. Because healing doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, "We move now," even if it still hurts a little. I don't remember the exact day I stopped checking if they watched my story, or if they liked that one post I didn't really care about, except for the part of me that hoped they'd see it. It just faded, slowly, quietly, like fog lifting. Not all at once, but enough to finally see my own reflection again. And when I did, I didn't see someone broken. I saw someone still standing, someone who had loved deeply and stayed soft, even after being forgotten. And I think that matters, because there's something sacred in not letting this world make you bitter. There's something holy about being able to feel so deeply and still choose to begin again. So if you're in that moment right now, if you're still checking, still aching, still wondering why you weren't enough to stay, this is for you. Not to say move on, not to say you deserve better. Just to say this: you are not invisible. You are not leftover. You are not some blurry chapter in someone else's highlight reel. You are still here, still breathing, still becoming someone that no one can replace. And maybe they forgot you. Maybe they never even looked back. But that says nothing about your worth, nothing about your soul, nothing about what you still get to become. Let them forget. You remember, you rebuild. You begin again, not for them, not to prove anything, but because you were never made to stay small in someone else's shadow. And someday you'll look back at this version of you, and the one who stayed, even when it hurt, and you'll whisper, "Thank you for not giving up."